Welcome to Old Stone State Park in Tennessee. So we just canceled our reservations at Old Stone Fort State Park, and it's because we felt that the roads in the campground itself is a little too much for the size of our rig. So what we did was we called our other reservations and added some time to it. And as the next destination has a little more to do around the area, so we're going to show you the tour of Old Stone Fort and its waterfalls and the fort itself. That way you can have an idea if you want to go there or not with your rig. So here's what that park looks like. Alright, Old Stone Fort Archaeological State Park. Now what this park is all about, that there's some Indian ruins here where they had created a very large area of a fort, part of it being like natural earth and stone for its walls. And this park is also known for a few waterfalls. We're on the trail along the river to check out the waterfalls first, and then we'll check out the Indian fort ruins itself. So nestled between the old fort and the river, you have a museum of the Indian heritage, and the roof serves as an overlook. So we're standing in the middle of the fort. You can see there's some mounds, and then there's some high elevations all along the edge, which is the creation of the walls. Alright, so there's basically two different sections to this park, and it's because, as we showed you, that blue bridge, that was the entrance to the campground, but the bridge is now closed because of its structure is in question. So there is a alternative entrance to the campground. We're going to take you over to the campground, and we're going to show you why we had canceled our reservations there, because of not the campsite itself, but the ability to maneuver a large rig through the loops itself. So let's go check that out. So once you enter the campground itself, you'll notice that the road itself is pretty easy, the typical, kind of curvy, some trees, paved, decent condition. However, it's the 3 cul-de-sacs that you have to use to get back out of your campsite or even the campground is what's in question, and we'll show you all this here in a second. So putting this into slow motion, I wanted to show you our campsite, this one right here we're coming up on. As you can see, it's big enough, it's wide enough, lots of room for our big rig, not a problem, but you can't make a left-hand turn, so you have to go out and follow the camp loop into those cul-de-sacs to do your turnaround. And that's where our concerns were, and we felt it was not going to be feasible for us to try to navigate any of the 3 roundabouts to get our camper out of the campground. So we're going to drive through the entire campground to give you an idea of what's the campground is like, and we'll show you all 3 of those roundabouts, and we'll pick out some things that definitely brought us some concern and caused us to make our decision to cancel. Okay, like I mentioned, there is 3 roundabouts. This is the first one, which is the one all the way in the end. And this is the biggest one and would be the best one to navigate. However, the width of the road is a little narrow, so you can see on the left side there's a little bit of a drop off, and you can see some tire tracks. And then every once in a while you'll see some major scrapes, meaning that people's levelers have scraped trying to navigate around the circle. And then you can see there's a few trees that's real close to the road, making it a little tight. And then prior to us actually filming this, there was a few vehicles where their trucks were sticking out, and it was going to cause a problem even if we were to stay here. And what was that going to be like later on? I do want to mention that I don't want to discourage anybody from coming to this park. I mean, it was a gorgeous looking campground. Just unfortunately, there was just a couple too many red flags for us to continue on with our reservation. And here we enter the next cul-de-sac. It's a little bit smaller, a little bit tighter, and again, there was vehicles sticking out when we drove through here, and it just seemed a little bit more increasingly dangerous for our rig. And it's because our rig is 41 feet long, and plus our truck, we're over 60 feet. So I think I'm going to have to do a lot more research in the future for where I want to select for our destinations in the future. And once again, here was our campsite. I was really bummed out. I was really looking forward to camping here, but at least we got to visit the day use area and share that with you. So, still got a thumbs up for the park. And here is the final roundabout. Again, the trees weren't so bad. The curve was a little tight, would be causing our wheels to drop off the road with the rig, and again, running a possibility of scraping the levelers. And then again, there were some vehicles sticking out in the road kind of with their front ends. As of this video, a lot of people had checked out, so it just wasn't going to work out for us. Alright, we're approaching the ranger station so I can make the cancellation. Right here is also the dump station. Tammy's going to go check out the bridge while I do the cancellation.
While I go cancel, you want to run down there real quick, keep Cooper in the truck, and shoot that bridge.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't even know if they have a reservation system here where they can cancel for you. If not, we'll have to do it online.
Alright, even though our camping schedule was not a success here at this park, but the park itself was really great. We had a great time for what we had seen, and we think you would too. You should consider subscribing to our channel. You'll never know. We may be guilty of adding to your bucket list. And as always, thanks for watching. Two for the road.